fell again.
I know it fell again. Okay, so we're gonna work on lower back. We're gonna work on lower back, and we'll do some fun stuff too on working on our. We'll continue to work on our serratus and tricep strength, and we're gonna work on lower back. So core, lower back.
I want to get out.
Okay, hold on. All right, you just here. There's nothing to be scared of. There's nothing to be scared of. Wally's right there. Wally's right there. Huh? The birdie's not there. The birdie's gone. Here, go. Okay, go that way. Go that way. Okay. Sorry. Injured bird emergency. All right. Ready? Okay. So hug the knees into the chest. Really warm up the hip flexors. Point and flex the toes. So remember 3 things: hamstring, hip flexor, low belly. Hamstring, right? Hamstring, heels to butt, heels to butt, heels to butt. Hamstring, hip flexor. So let's go ahead and start out with that. So grab your block. We'll take the block overhead, palms onto the block. We're just going to start out warming up, pressing the low back into the mat. Okay, point the toes, touch the toes down. So here, really squeeze in the hip flexors. So yeah, no, not hip flexors, hamstrings. Hamstrings. So really squeeze as tight as you can, as tight as you can. Kicking the heel to your sit bone, kicking your heel to the sit bone, kicking your heel to the sit bone, right? Keeping that engaged. Hip flexors. So this is hip flexors. Bringing the, what is this? The thigh down to your rib cage, down to your rib cage. So we're gonna go hip flexors, squeeze. Sorry, no, hamstrings, squeeze, hip flexors, squeeze. Hamstrings, squeeze, hip flexors, squeeze. Hamstrings, squeeze, hip flexors, squeeze. Hamstrings, squeeze, combine, keep that squeezing and then add the hip flexors. Hamstrings, squeeze, add the hip flexors. Hamstrings, squeeze, add the hip flexors and release. Okay, ready? All right, toss the arms overhead, squeeze the block, squeeze the block, squeeze the block. Hamstring squeeze, adding the hip flexors. Hamstring squeeze, adding the hip flexors. Hamstring squeeze, adding the hip flexors. Now, low belly. So low belly, so you're going to lift the hips up an inch off the mat. So you're curling your hip up towards the sky. So imagine you're bringing your knees closer to your collarbone and you're lifting your low belly. Really compress from the low belly. The low belly, the low belly. This is going to be like your suspended crow, all right? Suspended crow. And release. Oh. Okay. Hamstrings, hip flexors. Hamstrings, hip flexors, low belly. Hamstrings, adding hip flexors, adding low belly. And release. Low belly. So just release and just do the low belly. What does that feel like? What does that feel like? A little bit. It doesn't get up as high, right? It doesn't get up as high. So, hamstrings, hip flexors, and then low belly. Squeeze, hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Oh, and release. Ah, good morning. Good morning. All right. Okay. One more time. And then I think hands overhead. Hands overhead. Hamstrings, hip flexors, low belly. Squeeze the block. Hamstrings, add the hip flexors, add the low belly. Keeping the low belly engaged, can you release the hamstrings? But release the hip flexors, keep the hamstrings. So keep the hamstrings, add the hip flexors, low belly. Keep the low belly engaged as you release the hip flexors. Low belly. Keep the low belly engaged as you release the hip flexors. So keeping hamstrings, keeping low belly, add the hip flexors. Keep the low belly, keep the hamstrings, add the hip flexors. Oh, and release. Release, release. All right, let's see. Okay, come on up to seated. Whew, I hope you felt some muscles down in your low belly, maybe some that you haven't felt before. Some of it is also just like just kind of rewiring with some of the neuronal connections. So I'm really liking these lights. All righty. Okay, so we're gonna continue to work on our serratus. So your serratus is used for chaturanga and all of our crow work. So we're going to take the strap. We're going to take the strap shoulder width apart, palms facing down. Yeah, palms facing down. Roll the shoulder, roll the shoulders. We'll just use palms facing down, roll the shoulders. We'll just get warmed up in our shoulders here. Just shoulder rolls as you're pulling the strap. Yeah, pulling the strap. Roll the shoulders, pull the strap. Roll the shoulders, pull the strap. You're trying to get movement and mobility, and as the shoulders warm up, get your shoulder blades involved so that when you roll and you roll forward, you're actually rounding, getting your shoulder blades to come forward and wrap around your rib cage and round. So wrap. So it's not just up here, the shoulders, it's actually lower down. So roll. Now imagine you're squeezing an orange ball underneath your armpit and rolling it forward. So you're trying to squeeze like an orange, hold on to your orange, and then push the shoulder blades forward. Okay, and release. You should feel like a lot of engagement up here and up here. So the more we get our serratus anterior engaged, and that will involve the core, right? So serratus anterior and then the core, it's going to help us with our back. So with the back, hold on, I just got to get something to drink. With the back, we're going to open up the back, strengthen the core today. And also work on a little bit of the glute med. That's this part right here. Open that up. It's all involved in the low back. Okay. Where were we? Okay. So strap. Palms down. Bend the elbows at 90 degrees. Roll the shoulders back and down. Shoulder blades forward. Yeah. Roll, shoulder blades forward. Now hold from here. You're pulling. You're pulling. Pulling. You're going to lift just from the shoulders, keeping the 90-degree bend and down. But you don't want to do this like by lifting the shoulder girdle off. You want to do this from down here. Yeah. So rolling the shoulder blades down, 90 degrees. We're going to lift. So we're just going to hinge from the elbow. And you might not get very far to keep the shoulders and the lats engaged. So it might get to just to get to here before you come down. You're just going to feel it. You'll feel it in your shoulders. And lift. This is keeping your serratus engaged. And then come back down. And lift. And lower. You don't have any weights in your hands. You just have a strap. And I don't know about you, but it feels pretty hard. So keep pulling on the strap. 2 more. And last one. Whew. And you should feel this part of your back and your lats engaged. And roll the shoulders out. Okay. Boat pose. Boat pose. So take the strap, shoulder widths apart, roll the shoulders back and down, and shoulder blades forward. So keep the shoulders rolled down, shoulder blades forward. Squeeze the tennis ball. Lift. So lift the sternum, and float the feet up off the mat. Lift the sternum, pull the strap. Lift the sternum, pull the strap. Lift the sternum, pull the strap. Now point one toe, flex the other, and switch. Lift the chest. Switch the feet and lift the chest. Switch and lift. Switch and lift. Switch and lift. Keep pulling on the strap. Switch and lift for 5, 4, switch. 3, 2, and 1. Release. Take a breather. Roll out whatever you need to roll out. Oh, I bought a yoga wheel. You know, like a round yoga wheel. I've used it in some studios, but just to get to opening some of the shoulders. So we'll try some things. I want to try some things when it comes. They were, I think it was like $40 plus shipping. I think you can get some knockoff ones on Amazon. But I got like the Dharma yoga wheel to try to help me with my shoulder opening and kind of like King Pigeon and all the back stuff, all of this stuff, all the things that Kiki was teaching. She was teaching this. All right, so let's try this boat one more time. So strap, shoulder roll, squeeze the tennis ball, lift the chest, pull the strap, float, float, lift, pull, lift, squeeze. Lift, pull the strap, lift, lift. Point the toes, point 1, flex 1, lift. Pull the strap, ready, switch, 5, switch, 4, switch, 3, switch, 2, switch, 1, and release. All right, hope you guys are warm. Come into all fours, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky, swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold, inhale. Exhale, close the pose, inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhaling, halfway up, exhale, plant the hands, step it back, high plank. Lower down, knees, chest, chin, roll, shoulder roll forward or backwards and pull the chest forward, elbows squeeze, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhaling all the way back up, floating arms up towards the sky. And close the pose. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhaling, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, high plank. Lower down. Inhaling. Up dog or cobra. Exhale, tuck the toes, press it back, down facing dog. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhaling all the way back up, floating arms up towards the sky. And close the pose. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhaling halfway up, exhale. Right foot back, drop the right knee down. Anjani low lunge. Take your strap. Forward, up and back. Pull the strap. Pull it down behind you. Open up the chest. Inhale. Come to arms straight in front of you. Roll the shoulders. Squeeze the tennis ball. Shoulder blades forward. Forward. Notice your left hip is higher than your right. Drop the left hip down. Even out the hips and then send the hips forward. You can get a deeper stretch in the front of the right hip. Bend the elbows. Lift. Keeping the serratus engaged. Lift and lower. Drop the strap, windmill the hands down, step it back, high plank. Take your vinyasa, inhaling, up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, press it back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky, swing it way forward. Drop the back knee down. Take your strap, lift, pull, elbows back. So press the head back, elbows back, open up through the chest. Sink your hips forward. Notice if your right hip is higher than the left, even out the hips, then send your hips forward. Inhale. Reach forward, roll, protract the shoulder blades forward, bend, lift, lift. Drop the strap. Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Come down for a low squat. Really squeeze. So similar to what we did in the beginning of class today, hamstring squeeze, hip flexor squeeze. Take the block, and look, we're in the same position. So can you engage your core? Right, so hamstring squeeze, hip flexor squeeze, core. What does that feel like standing? And come on down for forward fold. Inhaling all the way back up, floating arms up towards the sky. And close the pose, inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhaling halfway up, exhale, plant the hands down, step it back. Left foot back, left knee down. Anjani, slow lunge. Shift the hips forward. Grab your strap. Inhale, exhale, open up. So open up. Inhale. Let go of the strap. We're going to take the block, put the block in between our forearms. So a little different. Instead of pulling, we're going to be pushing. Yeah, so 90 degrees. Even out the hips, shift the hips forward, even out the hips. Now lift. Keeping that 90-degree angle, squeezing the block. And lower. Lift and lower. Lift and lower. Place the block down. Windmill the hands down. Step back, high plank. Lower down. Inhaling. Up dog. Exhale. Tuck the toes. Press it back. Downward facing dog. Left leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward. Running lunge. Drop the back knee down. Take the strap. Inhale. Exhale. Open. Open up the chest. Pull the elbows back. Back, back, back. Send the hips forward. Send the chest forward. Inhale. Grab your block. Place the block in between your forearms. Like so. Level out the hips. So drop the left hip, pull the right hip, and lift. Lift the block. Squeeze. Squeeze the block. Squeeze the block. 3, 2, 1. Pop the back foot to the top of the mat. Low squat. So lift the heels. So hamstring squeeze. Hip flexors squeeze. Take a block overhead. Low belly squeeze. So just like we started class today on our back. Hamstrings, hip flexors, low belly. Forward fold, lift the hips. Inhaling all the way back up, floating arms up towards the sky. And close the pose. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step back, high plank. Lower down, inhaling up dog. Wow. Exhale, tuck the toes, press it back. Downward facing dog. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky. Right foot in between the hands, runner's lunge. You can use your blocks to go from runner's lunge into pyramid pose. Flex the toes. Can you see my toes? You can see my toes. Flex the toes. Yeah, pull the right hip back, wag the tail to the left. So runner's lunge, pyramid pose. And reach. So in pyramid pose, reach, lift, collarbone goes forward. Runner's lunge, pyramid pose. You have both blocks on either side. Runner's lunge to pyramid pose. Okay, now we're going to place the blocks on the low setting on either side. Runner's lunge. Left hand down, right arm twist. Twist, twist. Right arm behind the back, roll the shoulder open. And we'll kneel the hands down, step it back, high plank onto the blocks. And we're gonna do chaturanga on the blocks, okay? My right wrist is kind of bothering me, so I'm not gonna do too much with it, hopefully. But you're gonna do chaturanga, go more forward, right? So chaturanga, when you come down, I'm gonna do it on my knees. You can do plank. I'm gonna do not on your knees. Like I said, my right wrist is bothering me. What happens is if you come down, look, my elbows bend backwards, right? We want them to be 90 degrees. So when you do chaturanga, you wanna make sure they go forward. Yeah, so that, like all the stuff that we've been doing, this, I think this is like well, they're 90 degrees, like chaturanga, yeah? So from here, you wanna come forwards, elbows bend 90 degrees. Yeah, so it's more forward. So do chaturanga on the block. I think I tweaked my wrist a little. So chaturanga on your block. Yeah, so do chaturanga on your block. Come down, chaturanga on your block and hold. 3, 2, 1, and then press it back up. Yeah, so you should do this in plank. Yeah. So chaturanga, come down for 3, 2, 1, hold, and then press it back up. We'll do just one more. Yeah, let's see if I can hopefully not tweak this. Yeah. Oh, no, that's not gonna work. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, hold, and then press it back up. Okay. All right. Oh, we can do your vinyasa on the blocks. Okay. This time we're gonna go chaturanga to up dog, back to down dog on the blocks. Ready? Chaturanga. 3, 2, 1. All the way down. Inhaling up dog. Exhale. Tuck the toes. Press it back. Downward facing dog. So you're doing down dog on the blocks. Down dog on the blocks. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky, swing it way forward, runner's lunge. You've got the blocks there already, so we're doing runner's lunge. Right hand down, left arm goes up towards the sky, twist, twist, twist. Lower the left hand down, runner's lunge. Oh, thank you, sweetie. Thank you, that's so nice of you, sweetheart. Mommy didn't have breakfast this morning. And then lift, straighten out both legs, pyramid pose, flex the left toes. Can you see my left toes? They're flexed. Yeah. So hands onto the blocks. Runner's lunge, lift the chest. Dig into the heel, left heel. Flex the toes towards your nose. So instead of rounding your back, press like cobra. Cobra your upper back. Yes, dear. Yeah. Of course you may. And then runner's lunge.
Why did the bird want to go near the office? He knew he could bonk.
Well, he didn't see the window, and I think he heard his wing or his tail wing bonked. And pyramid pose, flex the toes. Yeah.
Can I teach body?
At the end of class today, okay? And flex.
How much longer?
Probably another
20?
no, probably another 50 minutes. Okay?
Hours? How many hours?
1 hour. Okay, and runner's lunge. Okay, and then come and put your block back onto the low setting.
Mama?
Step it back, high plank. We're gonna do chaturanga on the blocks. We're gonna lower down for a count of 3.
I want to teach bottle.
Okay, honey, but after mommy teaches my
I'm
class,
teaching
you can teach
right.
me later.
I want to teach balloon. I want to
Okay.
teach computer.
Why don't you make me another book? Okay, ready? So we're gonna be in high plank. So be in high plank. And then you're gonna lower down chaturanga onto the blocks for 3, 2, 1. Hold. And then press it back up. Scoop your belly, tuck your tailbone, posterior pelvic tilt. So scaredy dog. And then keep that posterior tilt as you come forward in your chaturanga for 3, 2, 1.
Why is the ball not dead yet?
And then press it back up.
Why is the ball not dead yet?
Because it didn't die yet, but it's gonna go hungry and birdies don't heal well when they have a broken something. Because nobody's here to help them. Okay, one more time.
Where's his mom?
I don't know where his mommy is. Okay, ready? High plank, tuck the tailbone, posterior pelvic tilt, lowering for a count of 3, 2, 1. Hold, pull the belly, and then press it back up, and then lower all the way down, and then do up dog, and then down dog. Yeah? So up dog, and then down dog onto the blocks. It's okay, honey. I think Wally's guarding him.
Why is
So
he
in down dog, he's watching the bird. Okay, down dog.
Why did he tweet at me?
I don't know. Anterior pelvic tilt. So anterior. So that means stick your tailbone all the way up towards the sky and get deeper into your down dog. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Back foot to the top of the mat, forward fold. Inhale all the way back up. Do you want me to walk you back in the house, Kiona? And close the toes, huh? Do you need me to walk you back in the house? Okay, inhale. Okay, honey, exhale, swan dive forward. Inhaling halfway up, exhale. Huh? Okay, hold on. All right, do your sun salutation.
What is sun salutation?
That means they're vinyasa. They know what to do. Okay, go. And end in down dog. I'll be right back. It's okay, honey. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay, boo-boo. I know. Okay, go. You're good. All right, bye, Kiona. All right. Injured bird crisis. Okay, we're in down dog. All right. We are, oh, let's see. Okay. You're going to shorten your dog. Shorten your dog, and we're going to do down doggy push-ups. 3 down doggy push-ups, and then 2 static holds. So from here, remember elbows go point back. So we're bending at that 90 degree. We're coming forward. If you want to take a block to kind of like measure give yourself a gauge of where you are, how low you can go. So remember, this is a shortened down dog. Shift the weight forward, bend the elbows. So this is your chaturanga position. We're strengthening the serratus. So from here, we press back nice and slow. Yeah, controlled. So we're lowering down for a count of 3, 2, 1, and we're pressing back for a count of 3, 2, 1. And we're lowering for count of 3, 2, 1. We're pressing back. Count of 3, 2, 1. One more. We're lowering down for a count of 3, 2, 1. We're pressing back for a count of 3, 2, 1. Okay, give yourself a break. Come down on all fours. And then we're going to do a static hold. Let me get my timer. Oh, here we go. Here's my timer. Cancel. Here we go. Okay. Shake it out. Roll out your wrists. Late summer lighting, right? Okay. Now we're gonna do static hold. So we're gonna be in down doggy push-up, and we're gonna hold for 10 seconds. That's it. 10 seconds. Easy peasy, right? Okay. So short down dog. Short down dog. All right, short down dog. Bend. Down doggy push-up. Hold. So just keep holding, squeeze the elbows together. Squeeze, find your low belly, engage your low belly for 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it back. Oh, and shake it out. See, I'm not so bad. I'm not so bad. So controlled lower and controlled pushing back, and then a static hold. It gets at the muscle differently. It works the muscle differently. You could be good on one and the other one will be harder. You got to attack and strengthen the muscle through both controlled movement as well as, you know, that static hold. Okay, one more time. Yeah, one more time. And then we'll do some crow or Bakasana work, and then we'll do some low back opening, and then we'll come back to Bakasana. Okay. Ready? Shorten down doggy. Shorten down doggy. And then bend. Down doggy, push up, hold. Ready? So keep holding, keep squeezing, keep engaging for 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Press it back and take child's pose. Okay. All right. So your serratus is warm, your tricep is warm, your core is warmish from the beginning of class, but this we really focus a lot on our upper body here so that we can get to some interesting things. Yeah, okay. So Malasana, heels together, knees apart, rounding through the back. So just kind of twist out your Malasana, so warming up the hips or just getting some cobwebs out of the hips. Oh. And so round. And so just try your basic Bakasana. Basic Bakasana. Yeah? Basic Bakasana. So hips up high. Lift the heels, right? So you got to roll the weight forward. Do you see how I'm lifting the heels, rolling the weight forward, aiming the knees into way high up into the armpit. Hamstrings, hip flexors. Yeah, so try 3 times wherever you are in your crow and really round in your belly. So you're going to externally rotate your hands like this, external rotation of the hands, scoop the rib cage, and then protract the, you know, I don't know what the dog's doing with the bird. I hope he's like kind of attacking the bird. And the, you know, what is this? The shoulder blade goes forward. Yeah, and then all of the other things, right? Hamstring, hip flexor, core that we worked on earlier today. Wally, don't leave the bird alone, Wally. Leave the bird alone. Okay. So external scoop, lift the hips, send the knees into the armpits, scoop, press, and really press into the heel of the palm. Yeah? Let's see how we doing. Heels closer to your butt, Uday. Heels up to your butt. The alignment looks good. The hips are over the wrists. But do you feel it? Yeah? So like here versus here. Yeah. More forward, Charlie. Your hips need to go a little bit more over your wrists. So more forward, hips more forward. So round, round. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Do you feel a difference? It's like that extra bit of rounding in the low back because the hips were slightly here. Did we lose Mo? Okay. All right. Okie dokes. All right. Where were we? Okay. Down doggy. Let's go. Down doggy. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward. Runner's lunge. Come on up. Crescent lunge. We'll take the strap. We'll do strap. Strap forward, pull, roll the shoulders back and down, rib cage, or what do you call it? Shoulder blades rolling forward, bend, pull. Yep. Slowly lift and straighten out the arms, but keeping your serratus engaged. So keeping that muscle underneath your armpit engaged. You might not be able to straighten your arms. That's okay, and then maybe bring back down. Keep pulling on the strap. And lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. And lift. And lower. Shift the weight forward. So we're going to take a revolved half moon. Left hand down onto the tall side of the block. Pull the belly, twist, and open. Right arm goes up towards the sky. Pressing the right heel into the mat. Keep reaching the arms up towards the sky, stretching out the hip flexor. Reach the right arm forward and get more length. So we're stretching out that outer right glute. Outer right glute. Wiggle the right hand down, come and have a seat for Matsyendrasana, seated twist. Right hand behind, take the twist, inhale tall, exhale twist. Inhale tall, exhale twist. Inhale tall, exhale twist. Inhale tall, exhale twist. Twist. And come back into low lunge. Pop the back knee off the mat. Hook the right arm underneath the right knee. Right hand on top of the left thigh. Left hand onto the block. Actually pull the right hip back. Left arm hugs the right elbow or the right shoulder. Pull the right hip back. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Revolve triangle. Now, so take the feet out wider. Left hand down. Triangle. Right arm up towards the sky. Oh, and keep twisting and lengthen. So find length in your left rib cage. Your left rib cage reaches forward, your right arm goes overhead and reaches towards the tree. And keep rolling your rib cage up towards the sky. Windmill the hands down. Step it back, high plank. Take your vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhaling up dog. Exhale. Press it back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky. Swing away, forward runner's lunge. Inhale, come on up, crescent lunge. Take the strap. Bend the elbows. So pull the strap. Bend the elbows. Pull the strap and begin to lift, keeping the serratus engaged so it's not going to go all the way straight. So just stop when you can't connecting your serratus and then back down. And slowly straighten it back up. And come back down. I'm going to lift and lower. One more. And lower. Revolved half moon. Tall side of the block. Right hand down. Pull the belly. Twist. Left arm goes up towards the sky. Squeeze. Reach the left arm overhead and keep lifting and lengthening through your right rib cage. Lengthening through your right rib cage. And where do we go from here? I don't remember. Triangle? Oh wait, maybe triangle? No, oh, seated twist. All right, come down and have a seated twist. Left hand onto the block. Twist, inhale tall, exhale twist. Oh, inhale tall, exhale twist. Inhale tall, exhale twist. Inhale tall, exhale twist. And breathe. So Wally, the dog, is like guarding the poor injured bird. He's like just there sitting next to the bird. He's a very good doggy. He's an old guy. He's like, I think 13 years old now. Oh, twist deeper, twist deeper. This is good for your back. So good for your back. And release. Triangle, right? Revolve triangle. Oh, actually, come on up. Hook. Right hand onto the thigh. Straighten out the leg. Wag the tailbone towards the right. Left hand onto the thigh, right thigh. Right hand onto the left elbow or left shoulder. Pull the left hip back. Pull the left hip back. Pull the left hip back. Reach the collarbone towards your left toes. Pull the left hip back. Reach the collarbone towards your left toes. Breathing here. 3, 2, 1. Revolve triangle. Take a wider stance. Revolve triangle. Breathing here, lengthen, right rib cage. Right rib cage lengthens. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Windmill the hands down, step it back, high plank. Take your vinyasa, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhaling up dog. Exhale, press it back, downward facing dog. Now from here, we're gonna do some bunny hops. We're gonna do some bunny hops. So bend the knees, bend the knees. So we're going to engage through the low belly, bend the knee and engage through the low belly. And hop. 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 So you want to spring and float. Spring and float. Spring and float. Yeah? And lower the knees down and sit it back, child's pose. Okay, let's see. We gotta get into the back. Right. Come up, tuck the toes, lift the hips, downward facing dog. You can step or jump to the top of the mat with your little spring and float. Inhaling all the way back up, floating arms up towards the sky. And close the pose. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands, step it back, high plank. Lower down, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhaling up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes. Press it back, downward facing dog. Inhaling, right leg comes up towards the sky. Swing it way forward, runner's lunge. Ooh, take a wide runner's lunge. Now wide runner's lunge. Put your hands on the inside of the foot. Tuck your right shoulder behind. Find the right heel. Lift the hips and tuck your head. I was going to say your right head. We only have one head. The crown of the head behind. Aim for the crown of the head behind the right heel. Crown of the head behind the right heel. You're opening up your hip. Yeah, keep tucking your right shoulder underneath. Go deep. Yeah. For 4. So you have to keep lifting your hips and keep driving the crown of your head behind your right heel. Okay. You can also alternatively take your arms out wide into a T. For 4, 3, 2, 1. Drop the back knee down. And give yourself a little break. And we'll do a bind. Tuck. And we'll bind. Behind the back. Yeah. Or you can pop the back knee off the mat too. Up to you. Either way, you're still opening this right side of the glute. The right hip. For 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. Whew. You can get into a little lizard. So drop your left hip down. Ooh, come to the outside edge of your right foot. Ooh. A little lizardy. A lizard with a twist. If you want to, you can take king pigeon by bending your left knee. Right hand finds the left foot and lift. For 4, 3, 2, 1. And lower the hands down, step it back, high plank. Take your vinyas, inhaling up dog, exhale, tuck the toes, press it back, downward facing dog. Bunny hops here. So from here, what are we using? low belly, hip flexors, hamstrings, right? Look, hip flexors, hamstrings, low belly. So not just from the legs. This is mostly core, hip flexors, hamstrings. Float. You can step or float to the top of the mat. Inhaling, coming all the way back up, floating arms up towards the sky. Close the pose. Notice if you're longer on your right side, your right butt cheek may feel a little bit more open. Inhale. Exhale, swan dive it forward. Inhaling halfway up. Exhale. Step it back, high plank. Lower down. Inhaling up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes. Press it back down, facing dog. How do we start this? Oh, inhaling, left leg comes up towards the sky, swing it way forward, runner's lunge. I think we were in crescent lunge, maybe. With our strap, with it bent. Yeah. Beginning to straighten out the arms, and lower, and lift. Pulling the strap and lower, and lift, and lower. Last one, lift and lower. And release. Come down, tuck the left shoulder behind the left knee. Driving the crown of the head to behind the left ankle. So lift the hips. Take a wider stance. Crown the head behind the ankle. So the more you lift your hip, the deeper the stretch. Lift the hips, head down, hips up, head down, hips up, head down. Take the arms out wide into a T, crown of the head down. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Drop the back knee down, take the bind. So shift the hips back. Take the bind. You can pop the back knee off the mat or not. Keep lifting the hips. The more you lift your hips, the more you're going to open that left glute. That's that lower back for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Place the hands down, drop the back knee down, come to the outside edge of the left foot, and twist. Ooh. Drop the right rib cage down towards the floor. Oh. Breathe, lengthen, breathe. Take king pigeon if you wish. So that's left hand to the top of the right foot. Opening up. Oh, my quads are tight. We're gonna work on quads next time. And release. Kind of rock it out into your lizard. Step it back, high plank. Take your vinyas. Knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhaling up dog. Exhale, tuck the toes, press it back, downward facing dog. Anterior pelvic tilt. So tip the soup bowl, get deeper. Tip the soup bowl, get deeper. Okay, bunny hops. So bunny hops include hamstring, hip flexor, low belly. Ready? Bunny hop, hamstring, hip flexor, low belly. Low belly. So not just the legs. All right. Okay. So your low back should feel pretty good. I'm looking for some pillows. All right. So now your crows or your bakhasanas look really good. And so today we're going to do down doggy to a controlled bakhasana. I can't. So the intermediate step between that is so our goal is to come from down doggy to a hop and like magically float into crow. I can't do that, not quite yet, maybe 2021. But the intermediate step is to, we'll see. I forget if it's is to, the first step is to jump and get your hips to go into an arc and to like slow the descent of the landing. And to control the landing, and the first thing is to try to slow down the landing of the knees in between, right? So eventually, the ultimate goal, I'm gonna pile a whole bunch of pillows here. There, now I feel safer. There we go. So if I face plant in there, I'm okay. But like the end goal is to to land in crow as gracefully as not. But the intermediate kind of skill set is to slow down the descent, right? So first thing is your hips go into an arc, but then you have to slow down the descent, which I'm not particularly great at. I think I can do it with these pillows. It was a little painful last time. So that's to land the knees, you know, in between your hands on the ground, not on the elbows. So from here, bend, and the key was that as soon as you jump, your elbows bend, and that's like, so as soon as you bend your knees, you have to bend your elbows. And so the goal is to try to get the skill and the strength to control the lowering down, and eventually when you can do that, you can actually control the descent of your knees onto your triceps to get into bakhasana. So that involves hamstrings, hip flexors, low belly, and the tricep strength. So let's see. And it's going to be more forward. Whoa! Ashish, are you okay? All right. That was awesome. Oh my God, that was awesome. You were like vertical. You were like, you could totally do this. You could totally do this because you were like floating for a while. You were like suspended. And so most of our problem, including mine, is that we don't go forward enough. So if we are falling short, or if we are falling short, it's because we're not going forward, which is hence like my multitude of pillows. Maybe I'll just put a blanket here too. Right, so it is more better. No, it is better to try to go forward, hence my pillows. Oop. So that's where the serratus and pushing of the palm comes in. Yeah. So when you really push down onto your palms and push into the serratus, that's what's going to help you slow down. And not just jumping, we have to remember our low belly, our core, our hip flexors, our hamstrings, and our serratus. And you know, that whole fear factor, right? So forward, you got to bend your elbows. When you jump, you got to bend your elbows. Your elbows have got to bend. Your arms are straight, Ashish. Your arms are straight. You got to bend. Bend the elbows. Yeah, yeah, that's it. Yeah. Do you see how that's different? I think that's awesome. That's a different thing to be able to hop up in the handstand, which is what you did, which is, I can't do that yet, but you can actually hop up in the handstand, which is awesome. That's the next skill. Yeah, 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 yeah. Do you see how like the knees, now you have to learn, now you have to control the descent down, right? You can feel where you need to control the descent, and like we have to just train the muscles and build strength and awareness. We probably have the strength. It's just, it's about, can we, ooh, I was like, I got it to go a little slower down. I think. I felt it a little. Bend your elbows, Ashish. Bend your elbows. But like, if I really think hard and concentrate about engaging my core, hip flexors and hamstrings, what we started out today, and really pushing. Hold on. I felt a little slower. It probably didn't look much difference, but I felt like I was going a little slower when I was landing. I don't know. Can you? You got to bend your elbows, Ashish. As soon as you bend your knees, you got to bend your elbows. You got to bend your elbows. Yeah, bend your elbows. So when you kick off the ground, your arms are straight, which is you're keeping yourself away from the floor instead of. It's a mind thing. Yeah, Charlie, that's it. That's it. Uday's brave. He's got it. He's doing it without the pillow. You gotta bend the elbows. Uday, how to bend the elbows? Yeah, as soon as your feet leave the ground, your elbows have to bend. Otherwise, you end up doing the other thing, which is called jump into handstand, which apparently Ashish has been holding out on us because he can totally do that. Yes. Now then the skill is just to control the landing, right? To slow down the landing. And then when you get to the point where you can slow down the landing, like you're literally like just hovering in midair, then you can land your knees in the back of your triceps. But a lot of it is also, if you don't focus on the jumping and focus on engaging your low belly, hip flexors and hamstrings, and pushing your heels of the palm, the more you push in bent arm, right? That's why we're doing all the bent arm strength. The more you push in bent arm into the heel of the hand, which activates your serratus, the slower you'll be able to slow yourself down more. Yeah, that's it, Uday. That's it. Yeah. More forward. Okay, now, yeah. So now then you got to get your hips over your wrists. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's it. That's it. Right? It's just, you got to connect the neurons that didn't, I mean, they're new neural connections. You got to like put the concepts together in your brain. There you go. Get the hips over your wrist, hips up high. Yeah, see how the difference, like before his hips were back and then now they're, So that's why you gotta make your hips go arc. If you go forward like this, if your hips, yes, that was better. If your hips go forward like this, the momentum, you'll never be able, you'll just hit your, well, anyway, you get it. The momentum will like topple you over. You actually have to arc. Your hips have to come up and land down. So that's why when Uday had his hips up, more over his wrists, you're stacking the weight. Yeah, you're stacking. It's like a gentler float down, like a feather floating down instead of if you go this way, you got to put the brakes on and it's yeah, that's it. That's better. Remember, hips up high. Hips up high. And it's from the core. There you go. Wasn't that fun? All right. Let's see. Okie dokes. All right. Your low back should be feeling pretty good and pretty loose. So let's go ahead, having a seat and kind of circle it out. Ooh. Kind of re-lubricating the spine and the hip joints and change directions. Usually we do this as a warm-up, but this will be good to just seal in the mobility that we have created in class today. And cat-cow out the spine here. Round and lift and round and lift. Okay. Head to knee pose. So extending the left leg out long. We're going to put the block in between the foot and the inside of the thigh. You can do the wider side or the widest side or the medium side. You're going to get a little bit more hip opening if you use the longer side here. So inhale, exhale to the outside of the left pinky toe, and this will help deepen. I mean, if you're, already rocking your head to knee pose, putting the block in here is going to help you get a little deeper. Because when we do this, this gets our right QL muscle here, and with the block in here, it gives us an extra level of difficulty. So we're stretching out our left QLs, which requires core strength. So this is, quick. So this is going to be what, hip flexor and low belly engage. Hip flexor, low belly engage is going to help you open up that right QL. So keep crawling your fingers down towards your ankle. Really anchor your right sit bone down. Ooh. And then switching to the other side. This allows you to get a deeper opening in this bent knee here. Oh. And we didn't spend a lot of time opening the QL, the back. Might feel like a little tighter than when we normally do an entire class, opening up the back. Hey, Kiana.
How much longer baby butter wants you? The baby butter wants you to call Papa on the iPad.
Oh, okay.
How much longer?
Probably like 10 minutes. Do you want mommy to take you swimming today, or you want daddy to take you swimming today?
Daddy.
Daddy. Okay.
I can't both.
Only one person can go with you because
Why?
remember, because of the virus and all the restrictions and all the rules, the new rules.
Who made up those rules?
Well, it's to keep us safe, Kiana. And keep reaching, lengthening, finding the length, gluing your left sit bone down. Remember, this is hip flexor and
Mom.
yes, dear.
Baby butter wants.
Okay, we will. All right, 10 more minutes, Kiana. Go. Oh. All right, thank you, honey. Bye, Kiana. Okay, so we did a lot of rounding, so we need to.
Mama, how does the bird keep moving places? He can't fly.
He's kind of wiggling.
What wiggling?
He's wiggling around, like when you wiggle on the ground.
Like
Okay,
this?
bridge pose. Yes, when you wiggle. When you wiggle. Okay, plant the soles of the feet down onto the ground. Tuck the toes, lift the hips.
Down, facing down.
See, she knows. For bridge pose. Squeeze your inner thighs. Maybe you do assisted bridge by putting your hands underneath your hips and opening up the front. Oh. Oh. If you want to, you can do wheel. Your body is not open for it, so just be mindful of the fact that we did all the opposite today. So maybe if you just want to stick with bridge is good for just kind of a gentle hip flexor opening. You can walk your feet out a little bit more to kind of open the hip flexors with an assisted bridge. And come on down. And you can all plant the hands out into fish. So onto the forearms. Just scoot, 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 scoot until the crown of my head is down. And come on down. You can take Shavasana where you are right now. You can take Shavasana in Baddha Konasana, reclined butterfly pose, with the blocks underneath your knees. Just kind of opening up the inner thighs. Palms facing up towards the sky. Opening your shoulder blades, spreading them out wide. Closing the eyes. Releasing the tension in your low belly. Releasing the tension in your hip flexors and the hamstring. You don't have to contract them anymore. Giving them permission to release. Releasing the tension in your jaw, in your face, in your temple, in your forehead, in your ears, in your eyebrows, in your fingers. Releasing any tension in the hips. Inhaling into the low belly. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Hold, open up the mouth wide. Exhale. Inhale, inhale, inhale. Open up the mouth wide. Exhale. Slowly come on up to seated, keeping your eyes closed, rooting your sit bones into the earth. Big inhale. Drawing them hands down to heart center. Exhale. Bowing forward. Namaste.